Ahoy, you salty sailors. Time to raise anchor and set sail for your best scrawny life. Arr.
Summer in Iowa, and everything revolves around the rain. The events of this video were triggered by a short, fast-moving, but fairly rain-intensive storm that moved through the state. But it wasn't a series of storms that would have kept river levels high for a long period of time. It was just a quick and intense splash that brought the levels up, but I knew that they were going to drop just as quickly. Here you can see some flooding in the Mississippi River and in the Iowa River. There's some heavier flooding about an hour away. Not enough time to get there. As you can see, this peaked on Saturday, and by Wednesday, when this video was being edited, the level of Lake Red Rock had already dropped back down nearly to normal. Prolonged high water would have actually brought about better conditions, clearer water conditions and so forth, but we did not have that kind of time with this particular fast-moving storm. And where these events take place is where Highway 14 crosses the White Breast Creek arm of Lake Red Rock. So we had to get in there and get her done while the level was high, because it was not going to last forever. Now, what I call good conditions is a relative concept. This type of fishing is at its best in floodwater, and of course there are all kinds of hidden dangers involved in floodwaters. There's physical dangers, currents straining through fences and culverts and hidden things underneath the water. There's electrical dangers, there's biological dangers. Don't get this water in your mouth. But we did find fish right away. It's muddy, it's windy, it's going to be tough to see the fish, but the fish were there in numbers, and right away we're off to the races with a leap. Give me an S, give me a J, give me a C. What's that spell? Then he comes up and gives this little tail slap just to sass me a little bit. But so a pretty good leap, a pretty good jump out of that fish. And see, maybe he's got one more. Yes, sir, there we go. Fully airborne, back down again. Two great jumps. We will go ahead and certify. He's a decent sized fish and he put on a real show, so that deserves certification there. Here's another one, not quite as big. He's not putting up that good of a show either. He's heading for the trees, but the trees were denied. And now we're going to go for the grab. Spits the hook after the grab. So we'll just let that one back on his merry way. We're off to a good start in spite of the muddy conditions. They're just packed in here so thick. It's a target-rich environment. And this one is airborne again. Give me a C, give me a U, give me a C and an N. What does that spell? Canuck. That's called a phonics, children. Phonics. Alright, going for the grab. This one, that's a decent fish. Meanwhile, we've got another one on in the heavy cover. A lot of times they jump pretty spectacularly in that heavy cover. This one, not feeling it though. Going for the grab, and he attempts a tail slap, but the tail slap denied. Now here is what we're here for. This is a bigger fish. This is a real gator. But you'll notice now, if you've seen some of my other videos, you'll know that these large gar are capable of some violent leaps, breaking lines, crashing into trees, all sorts of silly things that can erupt when these things go airborne. But you'll notice that this one is uncharacteristically calm, so I believe they probably spawned in the couple days when the water was rising, and that these fish are sort of in a low energy state post spawn. I think we're feeling some post spawn lethargy, which explains why the fish is acting so uncharacteristically calm. Having just bulldogged around for that long, the hook finally pops out, and it just sits there after the hook pops out. So, very uncharacteristic. Here's another large one. Got the head confused with the tail on that one. There's a couple of them sitting there actually. It's not really fly fishing at this range, more like just dabbling, the muddy water allowing me to get very close to the fish. Drew a bit of a strike there, but it didn't hook up, I guess. So yeah, uncharacteristic of them to act like that. I'm thinking that we're immediately post-spawn and they're just a little lethargic. Now, this is fishing with safety equipment involved. Crushing down the barbs on these hooks and wearing the leather glove, because you will take a hook in the hand if you attempt to do this. And those two things, crushing down the barbs and wearing the glove, will help you pull the hook back out with relatively little harm done. And of course, always, always, always wear the eye protection. Or better yet, just don't try it. I've done silly stuff my entire life, but that doesn't mean you have to. And now this one, trying to tangle in the trees, but managed to pull him away. Not huge. Maybe we'll manage to land this one. Going for the grab. Grab denied. And here we are. Finally got him. Showing the teeth there. And now this is a bigger fish. I hooked him and just netted him real quick because I had the opportunity to, afraid he was going to get away. Now, we will go ahead and certify this fish, and the reason why will become obvious in a moment. We've got the fly out, and he goes for a furtive lunge. Now, folks, I do not need to tell you that this could have turned ugly real fast. Gar teeth can break off and embed under your skin, and you don't want to be bitten by one. So if you do this, I'm encouraging you not to, but if you do this, you accept all of the risk. You are the only one who is responsible for your own safety. Turned around, and there was a lurker. Sinks out of sight. Seems to know that I've seen him. Decided he doesn't want any part of whatever it is that I'm doing. There's a big fish. Look at the broad back on that old gator. And he's got a big scar, maybe from a motorboat prop or something. Just, there's a gnarly big fish right there. Big old broad back. Can't keep him pops free. Not to worry. Smaller fish, very target rich environment. Get the strike here, and we're off to the races once again. No big leap out of him though. Gonna go for the grab. Nope, grab denied. Is he still on? Not for long. Now, perhaps you don't need to be told that gizzard shad do not normally swim like this. This is a gar with a shad in its mouth that's just cruising under the surface. I actually saw this several times that day, but I only got it on camera this once. We'll go around the bush and see if we can get a little better look. See if we can get a look at what's going on here. There we are. There you can kind of see the shadow of the gar. But, now there he is. It's a small gar with a big shad. So we'll leave him in peace to gulp that big meal down. Decent sized fish here. Draw the strike. Doesn't hold. Oh, this is not good. Huge gar, great big fish, but I foul hooked him. That I was expecting him to just go completely nuts, but he didn't. Again, kind of a post-spawn lethargy, probably. There's a couple big fish here. Finally get the strike from one of them. Doesn't connect though. Another strike missed. Looks like a decent sized fish. Might be worth trying again. Well, maybe a third time. Maybe a fourth time. Oh, finally a big grab, and now we've got him on. Decent sized fish, it looks like. Trying to get the net ready, and he goes for a furtive lunge. A furtive lunge straight for the jugular vein. Falls a little short though. I'm going to try with the net one more time, and he's off to a second furtive lunge. Teeth slashing everywhere, unbelievable. The net just simply is not going to work. I better just give up on that. It's just the wrong shape of fish for the type of net. And now he's just sort of collecting his breath. But I think he's got one more big jump left in him, perhaps. I don't think he's done yet. Hasn't gonna try once more with the net. Nope, it's not gonna work. We're gonna have to go for a good old-fashioned grab, I believe. We'll bring him back around. Decent sized fish. Going for the grab. Trying the gentle grab this time, and we've got him. I think that's a certifiable fish, all right. Decent sized. Gave a couple furtive lunges. He's got the spirit. Might as well certify. We'll just jump cut through the unhooking part and send this big girl back on her way. All right, next fish. And here we go. Give me an I, give me a C, give me a U. What's that spell? ICU, intensive care unit. That's where you'll end up if you get this water in your mouth. God only knows. Oh, and again, airborne. God only knows what sort of, a third airborne leap. The small male's finally giving us some ground game. Head over tail flips. Again, headbutts the kayak. Back down to the water, a little stunned, but not before another leap breaks loose. But back to what I was saying, God only knows what sort of giardia and fecal coliform bacteria is in this water. Don't get it in your mouth. A smaller fish to wind things down, I guess. And we're back on White Breast Creek. So that's the story of a flood that rose and fell quite quickly, and how to make the most of the situation, strike while the iron is hot.
In the time that I've been on the water, the level has dropped about 3 inches because I paddled through that when I put in, but I had to get out and pull the kayak just now. So that is the entire Lake Red Rock going down about 3 inches. The draft on the kayak about 4 inches. Going down about 3 inches in like 4 hours or something. So that is a huge amount of water. That tells me they are letting the water out below the dam at a furious pace. So, interesting.
So hopefully I've persuaded you not to try this, but if you really want to know how it's done, the fly is tied on the hollow tube of a cotton swab. We're not using frayed nylon rope or anything like that to entangle the gar's teeth. How are you going, it does work, but how are you going to untangle the nylon rope from the gar's teeth without being bitten. Well, you're not. So we're using a treble hook with the barbs crushed down, and it's dressed with some saddle feathers just to make sure that it travels at the same speed as the fly. The fly again is tied on a tube, and it's just dressed with a little bit of flash, helps the fish see the fly in that muddy water. We put the tippet through the tube, tie onto the treble, and it's about a size 8 or 10 treble. That's the fly. But please do not attempt this yourself. It's not safe.